The United States has great strength and patience, but if it is forced to defend itself or its allies, we will have no choice but to totally destroy North Korea. Rocket Man is on a suicide mission for himself and for his regime.
President Trump at the UN yesterday with some very tough words for North Korea and its dictator Kim Jong-un. As we showed you in our opening monologue tonight, well, it didn't take long for the establishment, destroy Trump media, to just freak out and lose it over the president's speech, many bashing the president for being too tough on the guy that's firing rockets over Japan. In other words, Rocket Man. Anyway, should we be surprised? Here with reaction, Fox News contributor Leslie Marshall from The Hill, Joe Concha. You know what, Leslie? I'd like to see the same anger over the Iranian deal and the same anger over the rockets fired over Japan as they show with the president saying that he will defend liberty and freedom and our allies and the people of the United States over this madman. Where's the outrage over the things that really matter on your side? Because it never ends. If Trump gave $5 million to every American, it still would anger people on your side.
Well, we felt that for the past 8 years in reverse, Sean, so I hear you. However, there is great anger both left and right with this madman, the leader of North Korea, and anytime there is a missile launch, and it's not just from people here on television or radio, our citizens and certainly people throughout the world, more so people in South Korea, who essentially would be the targets that we would put forth if we were to do what the president, in a sense, essentially threatened. And that's what the outrage is about. The UN was founded on diplomacy. The stage that the president used to
the same UN that's anti-Semitic, Leslie. The same UN that's anti-American, Leslie. You put faith in them. They're incompetent. They're inept. They're impotent. They've been their whole time.
Sean, for the President of the United States, the leader of the free world,
that pays the
to stand
bill.
on the UN stage and essentially threaten war, and in addition, Sean, to play God and to talk about
I love
nations
how you say the president's
people going
war.
to hell.
You got it ass backwards. You got it backwards. Joe Concha.
Can I give an example, since we're talking about media, of bias in broad daylight?
Yeah.
All right. So there is a photo of Secretary Kelly yesterday, the Chief of Staff, General Kelly. And I asked your producers actually to grab that because this is a perfect example.
I love guests that come with their own props. Go ahead.
Well, okay. Well, you got to make points, and visual aids are the key. So there's a photo of him, and he actually has his hand in his head. And this was supposedly taken, there it is, during President Trump's speech. So this goes viral. It's on Twitter Moments. And basically the narrative is this, that Kelly is exasperated. He is so surprised by what President Trump is saying in the speech. Now, here's the reality. I believe that probably a chief of staff probably saw a speech going out to the free world beforehand. He's not surprised by anything in that, but the narrative becomes that
they've been working on the speech the president's been working on the speech for a month. He saw the speech.
Of course.
So they lie. Basically, you're saying, just like with the whole issue of when Trump tweeted out March 4th, and said, oh, it looks like we're being spied on, or whatever the term was, or eavesdropped on. Everyone said, they called him a liar. Mm-hmm. Well, it was happening, Joe. And Sarah Carter, John Solomon, Mark Levin, myself, and a few others were right.
So people will say, so where'd that picture come from? What,
well,
is it doctored?
Your point
no.
is well taken.
Here's the thing. If you take 1,000 shots of somebody during a 47-minute speech, and you know this from when segments go on like a Mediaite or somewhere, they're going to get that one bad shot of you accidentally rolling your eyes, or your mouth is agape, or whatever. So that's what happens.
You mean they do all that on purpose?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let me go to Leslie. Leslie, let me ask you a question. Do you think when Bill Clinton bribed North Korea that it worked, or the Iranian deal bribery is going to work? Do you really believe that capitulation and appeasement works? Please tell me you're not that foolish. Please.
Well, first of all, with North Korea, I think that I hate to say that I agree with Steve Bannon on North Korea. And a lot of people do. Clapper and others.
Okay, we all agree on China, but that's not my question. Stop avoiding my question.
No, not China, not China, not China.
Is the bribery of the Iranian mullahs going to work? Do you believe that nonsense?
If you feel that Bill Clinton bribed that individual, then you have to feel that George W. Bush did as well. We had the same problem with the past three administrations, Sean.
She won't answer.
One of which was a Republican administration.
Did bribery work? It didn't work, and it's not going to work in Iran. Am I right or wrong?
Sean,
Well,
what
obviously,
what we have with Iran, the deal that we have with Iran,
that was for Joe.
without the deal to Iran, we put Israel
Last word,
at
Joe.
further risk. Actually,
You're
without
dreaming.
the deal, Israel is more
You're
at
living in a
risk.
fantasy world.
I think when it came to this speech and the media
No, I'm
reaction,
not.
there is a peer pressure that exists now, particularly at other networks, to be as provocative and negative as possible. Because we saw an earlier example from this year, Van Jones. He said that the president became president of the United States in a moment where it was during the joint session of Congress, and there was a widow who just lost her husband.
remember.
And Van Jones actually said something positive. And he was eviscerated on social media and by his peers. How could you say something positive about this president? So that's what happens now. You get ostracized if you go positive in any capacity with this
We've
president.
had 11 months of lying, and tick tock, it's all going to be exposed, and we'll be on the forefront of it. All right, Leslie, if I ever want a dictator to be nice, I'll give him money and I'll say, please be nice, and we'll see if that works. Coming up, Greg Jarrett, Sarah Carter.